All right, it's like late August in 2021, so I thought I may as well put my 2 cents on YouTube because I like to keep records for shit like this. COVID 19. I went to COVID 2020, went to 2021, and is looking like it's going to be COVID 2022. It's a pandemic like we have not seen in 100 years, apparently. Go away, Dad. That we haven't seen apparently in 100 years, and it possibly had the potential to. I don't know because you don't fucking know. But anyway, I wrote down some notes. Deaths in Australia, I think we're at about 900 or something. I'm not 100%. I'm not 100% about these stats, but I couldn't be bothered looking them up. Worldwide, there's been 4.5 million, maybe 5 million. So compared to the last pandemic, we've done a lot better. Talking about the 1918 Spanish flu outbreak, we've done a lot better because by this time it had killed like 50 million people. So it's like a tenth of that. We also have mass worldwide vaccination rollouts. In Australia, we've had 5.1, and worldwide, I think they're up to about 1 billion. That's not how many people are actually fully vaccinated, but that's just the amount of vaccinations that they've given out. Let's be clear there. I think it's Australia, it's 3 million people are fully vaccinated. I think worldwide, wouldn't have a fucking clue. Could not be fucked looking it up. But I'd guess it would be about half of 1 billion. So 500 million people worldwide are fully vaccinated. There's been lockdowns, political fucking just political shit. There's rumours, as per usual, workplace, different things, different shit about the vaccines. There's been a whole range of just shit with this thing. It's been a shit show. So first we'll start off, because I'm in Australia, I probably should start off in terms of lockdowns, because that's what affects the most people here in Australia. They're just fucking over it. Like, I'm over it. I want to get out and mini beers, fucking slap on some dragons. That would be sensational, but no. Anyway, so lockdowns have been like on and off for over a year, probably closer to 15 months now. 15 months thereabouts. We go on lockdown. We go on stage 1 lockdown, stage 2, go up to stage 4. Oh, hang on, no, back to stage 2, back up to stage 4. That's because we're here on the Central Coast where I live. We were part of the Greater Sydney initially, but that's been stopped now. Because initially we were part of the Greater Sydney because we're like 100 k's north of Sydney, not even that. That pissed a lot of people off, including myself, because I'm not fully secular from Sydney disobeying the rules because I don't suit me. No. Oh, sorry, sir, I don't understand English. I don't know stay home. I means I'm not like as borderline racist as that is. That will be half of the fucking problem down in Sydney. Yeah, school's been shut. No retail stores. This has all been in the past sort of 9 to 10 weeks ish. Or schools have been on and off since this thing started. It's like, if they do not make kids just repeat a whole year, I'll be utterly surprised. Because even though there's a lot of kids that, even though there is directions by Education New South Wales to do work at home, I know a lot of parents aren't. Like, because they got work. So, and they got to work from home and they got their own things going on. So everyone just repeats a year. As I said, retails are shut except Bunnings, even though the vast majority of the cases have come from Bunnings. Not the vast majority, but a lot of cases have come from Bunnings, but it's still open because I don't know why it's essential for people to be doing their homes up right now, but apparently it is. The construction trade in Australia has been open and shut, open, shut, open, shut. Now it's just been a shit show. Right now we have curfews in Sydney in the what's called LGAs of concern, or local government areas of concern. They have curfews. I guess you call him my uncle too. He is experiencing it. He has helicopters flying over his house saying stay at your home. He has police cars going past saying stay in your home. They cannot leave their home between 9 and 5 p.m. unless for a medical emergency. I think maybe they can possibly go out for food too. I'm not sure about that. My wife would know. She knows more about it than I do with that stuff because they talk every day. It's like actual martial law style curfews, and that's pretty intense. Now there has been dramas for couples and families. By and large, me and my wife have escaped a lot of that stuff because, well, I don't know, we just get along really well. So by and large, we've escaped it. The only disagreement we've had is usually more because she doesn't understand what I'm saying. It's just breakdown in communication. But apart from that, we get along like a fucking house on fire because apparently me and her can sit at home and do nothing all weekend and be happy in each other's company. So we get along like a house on fire, but I know of a lot of couples that aren't and haven't. What else is there? No, we've had rallies in Sydney. So we've had anti-mask protesting in Sydney and stuff like that. Anti-mask and anti-lockdown protesting in Sydney. That's nothing new. As much as people are like, oh my God, people are so rude. Look at this current generation. Look at what they're producing. That shit happened in the Spanish flu outbreak too. This is nothing new. The minute you lay down laws in society, there are always a group of people that kick back at those laws and regulations. So this is nothing new. It's nothing new at all. Government handing out substantial fines for people that are caught, like it's $5,000, like 5 G's for someone that get caught out of their home at the wrong time without a valid excuse. Like that is a lot of money to just give to the government. That's been pretty intense. So your pubs, clubs and casinos are all shut in Australia, or in New South Wales. I'm not sure about the other states. So that sucked, because like I said before, fucking hit the lightning links, mini beers, fucking, what are they called? Oh, God, it's been that long. Skittle bomb. Get in my belly, get on my fingers, fucking give us the feature, you dog. But no, that hasn't been able to happen. So, no. My thought on the whole lockdown thing is that 9 weeks ago, New South Wales should have had a 2-week hard lockdown, get the numbers done, get it fixed. That hasn't happened, though, because I don't know why Gladys Berejiklian has decided to do it the way she did, but it's just been a shit show. Now, speaking of Gladys Berejiklian, also known as Gladys Berejiklian, who is the New South Wales Premier, looks like a fucking witch. She really does. Like, she looks like she would be a difficult human being to have any sort of interpersonal relationship with. I mean, be her child, be her spouse, be a friend. She just looks like she'd be a cunt of a human being. But anyway, that's an opinion, not a fact. She's just been, that's who our Premier is, and she's just fucking, New Zealand, however. New Zealand's Premier, New Zealand's Prime Minister, what's her name? Jacinda Ardern. She has been, we watch that stuff because I am half Kiwi, bro. My mum's a Kiwi. I've got dual citizenship of New Zealand, bro. So I do pay a bit of attention to New Zealand and what they're doing. As I said, Ardern she's a fucking mad bitch. She's a fucking mad bitch. Like, instead of the New South Wales and Australian politicians having their press conferences from a podium, oh, look at me lead the country. We need to have these things because this is a serious matter. No. Ardern, the mad bitch, is doing it from a fucking home. Like, she's doing these press releases from home, telling people her thoughts and what needs to be done from her fucking house because she's leading by fucking example. That is fucking brilliant leadership. This fucking wad that we have leading our country, which is Scott Morrison, he's a smug cunt in it. Like, he just looks like someone that, if he had friends at school, it was because or friends growing up, or even friends now, it's because he had something that they needed. It wasn't because he was a good person. He just looks like a dog. So yeah, but even having said that, even with all this brilliant leadership, this Delta variant, which is the current variant circulating around the world. Next up, we've got the Lambda variant, I think it's called. Lambda variant, Lambda. That's the next variant, but Delta variant's the one that's going around the world right now, and that's fucking New Zealand up. New Zealand's had 100 case reported in like 3 days because it just went right out of control. Because its R0 rating is, I'm not a virologist. I don't even think virologists probably use this stuff, but I picked up on it and went, that's actually a pretty good thing. It's R0 thing from what I can see is like 6. It's fucking high. I mean, that's a high rate of infection. That's Delta variant. So, more ideas of politics is, where did this virus come from? It came from China virus. The ex-President Trump of the United States. China. Whether it was accidentally released, whether it was made in a lab and deliberately released, whether some peasant farmer brought it into Wuhan by accident, whether some dickhead fucked a pangolin, I don't know. But it came from China. China are being very secretive about it. They don't want a bar of it. They pretty much pretend that it was not their fault, as China does, because that's communism for you. Now, speaking of bury a dick in butt and the leadership of our country, I do feel some bit of pang for them, because no matter who was in power, they were probably going to get fucked up by all this shit. It was still going to fuck them. This was a unprecedented event. But in saying that, you should always be prepared for something like this. Now, something else that I have to say is that it's caused in Australia, there has been a massive divide with vaccines and non-vaccines, and lockdown and non-lockdown. There's a massive divide in our country about it, and I think it's all over the world too. Now, that has stemmed from poor leadership and poor response to the outbreak, but regardless, in Australia, I'd have to say I feel sorry for whoever is. I feel a little bit of pang and a little bit of empathy, sympathy even, towards who's been in power. However, they bring a lot of it on themselves. Take, for example, the government response to the vaccine rollout and lockdowns. We got told when this all first started, 50% of the population gets vaccinated or inoculated, whatever you want to say. Lockdowns should ease, and there should be an easing of restrictions. That went up to 60%, that went up to 70%, that went up to 80%, and now it's not a silver bullet. The fuck, no wonder people don't trust what you've got to say. But there must be an element of it, because there still has been, as I said, about 5.1 million vaccines in Australia as of I think it's the 23rd of August, 23rd or 24th of August today. I'm not 100%. I'm sitting at home because I got a busted heart. That's irrelevant. That's a different kettle of fish. And apparently I'm not allowed to go to work for 3 months. That ain't gonna fucking happen. I feel remarkably better today, to tell you the truth. But I'm not a doctor. Now there has been a increase in racism against Asians. Semi-expectable. I mean, this is what people do. Afghanistan. Now, Afghanistan. We spent the better part of 20 years in a war in Afghanistan against various jihadi and Islamic groups, the Taliban itself, all these things. We pulled out of Afghanistan, the Taliban took back over. Anyway, that's slightly irrelevant. The only relevance here is the fact that this virus took away the impact that should have had on the world, the impact of just leave Afghanistan the fuck alone. The British learnt it, the Russians learnt it, and the Americans have now learnt it. You should have just left it alone after the British got fucked up. But let alone the Russians. And why did you even go there, America? So you should have just gone in there, surgical strike on Bin Laden's ass and fucked out of there. But anyway. So yeah, what relevance that has to this conversation is the fact that it just took away, the coronavirus took away from Afghanistan's importance. Next up on the chopping borders, we have, so as I think I've discussed it a little bit, maybe, I'm not sure, there's so many rumours circulating around this shit, such as different treatments. First we had fucking Trump, you're fired. I still cannot believe he was president of the United States. This is 5 years on and I'm still like, fucking how? Him going on about the quasi-quocoline or whatever it was called. That was a rumour that started. Then people saying, just snort bleach. It kills coronavirus. It doesn't kill coronavirus, it'll kill you, you fucking idiot. And now we have the rumour circles trying to be slightly more technical about it. But every single one of them that I've seen and that I've researched, people saying, I look it up, the latest one was one of her family friends came in and said something to the, it was some fucking, I don't even remember what it was, Lombardia or something. It's not that. It's not even close to what it is, but some shit. And she was like, it's this will be the next, this is apparently the next big thing. I looked it up and I'm like, it kills parasites. It's not going to do anything against the virus. Like, just no. And there's been a few other ones like that too that I'm just like, just no. Just look up what it is. Vaccines. There's been so many rumours about the vaccines. I mean, you have all these things about mass vaccinations in stadiums and kids dying. There's all these different people that are dying because of the vaccines. The vaccines, well, people are still catching it because of the vaccines. The vaccine's not a silver fucking bullet. It never has been. It's not a one-stop, you're fixed. It's never been that. And no vaccine has ever been that. It's impossible to make a vaccine like that. It is not a stopgap because it's more than a stopgap. It's a measure. It's a defense measure. It's a shield, but shields are still, you can still get through a shield. It's armor, but you can still get through armor. I mean, so yeah, there's been massive rumours around all that shit. The amount of true deaths in society, that's all. There's so many rumours about that, but there's all these people going, oh, this person died and that person died. There's only been one case where I can actually say that person may have died, and that was some jogger in Cairns or Bundaberg, one of those far northern fucking Queensland cities. So I'm not, that's the only one that I can actually find that's, maybe this person did die of the vaccine. Maybe. Then we've got the trucking strikes, the rumour going around Facebook about trucking strikes. After my missus spoke to a few of her trucking friends and said that they might be going on strike, but it's a case of if one doesn't go, none of them go. It's this, I don't even know how the hell they're going to coordinate that. I think it was a rumour that got started and then it's just taken off, even though I don't think it has leadership. I don't think it has any structure behind it. It just comes across as a rumour that's taken off. I hope I'm up in the air about that one. Now, more rumours have been forwards from other countries. We have the rumours coming out of Israel about the fact that AstraZeneca only has a 40% effective rate. That's fucking abysmal. But again, I don't live in Israel, so I don't know. And then Pfizer and stuff like that, people in Israel being 80% of the population being fully vaccinated and the virus is still running rampant throughout the country. You're like, is this stuff really that effective? But again, it's a rumour, you don't know. Now, workplaces. That's my next segment. Hey, it's been going on for 20 minutes. Long-ass fucking rant thing. Not really, it's not a rant. I'm not allowed to elevate my heart level, so I've got to remain calm. Yeah, something I found interesting is workplaces are not legally allowed to force you to get the vaccine. However, best example is my workplace. None of the blokes I work with, and sorry, I don't work with any women. It's not a gender diverse. My role is not a very female-friendly role. I mean, by all means, we give them goes. We try and say, yeah, make our workplace more diverse. They last 3 days and fuck off. Yeah, but anyway, so back to it. Blokes I work with, none of them wanted it. None of them wanted to get it done. But we've started to have our hands forced because we get contracts, we get jobs. And those jobs are saying, you need to be vaccinated. No one at our workplace says you need to be vaccinated, but unless you want to sit at the yard for a week doing nothing, not getting paid all that much because you'll do 38 hours, not 60, you have to get vaccinated to go out on the jobs. So the government are saying you have to get vaccinated, but they're saying you don't have to get vaccinated. But they're saying if you want to work, you have to get vaccinated. It's just a shit show. So we're all pretty much getting vaccinated because we have to. I'm trying to put it off as long as I can, but that's not exactly working in my favour anymore. Well, I have the saving grace of the fact that I have to wait for Pfizer due to my chronic lung disease that I had when I was 25, 26. I have to wait for Pfizer anyway, so I have that silver bullet. Silver bullet of the fact that I have to wait for Pfizer. Silver bullets are the fucking go-to word today. Fuck, what are we fighting? Werewolves? But anyway. Medical and care workers are being forced to get vaccinated. They are being forced to. Government regulations are stipulating get fucking vaccinated or don't go to work. You've lost your job. No more choice for them. Cleaners are starting to get more and more of their customers and clients saying to them, are you vaccinated? You cannot come to this site, you cannot come to our home, you cannot come to our job unless you are vaccinated. Again, that was to be expected. Construction in Sydney, and it'll probably start making its way up here soon, they are being forced to get vaccinated. If you want to go and work in the construction trade in any of the LGAs of concern or local government areas of concern, you have to get vaccinated. There is divisions in workplace, so I've heard of rumours, heard of arguments and stuff in workplaces over the people that want to get vaccinated, the people that don't, the people that think this is all some big government conspiracy, the people that don't. People that get along, normally in a workplace, are not getting along due to their differences of opinions on this virus. From the get-go, we have very, very unclear rules and regulations surrounding the workplace response, well, not just my workplace, but workplaces' response to the coronavirus pandemic. So, yeah, that's been a shit show. 1 minute we could go to work, next minute we couldn't. Then, oh, you're a part of this area, so you can go to work. Oh, you're travelling out of your area, so you can go. Oh, well, hang on a minute. No, you're not. You're travelling out of the area, so you can't go. I've been on a job where it's been pulled because it was, well, you blokes are from here, see you later. And we were halfway through a fucking job. Like, it's, we'll be back. We'll be back. So, yeah, it's just a shit show. So, yeah, and then vaccines, a lot of people are sceptical due to the lack of research. They were rushed, they were pushed out. There was not the scientific consensus, evaluation, or any of the stuff done about them. It was just push them out, give them to the sheep, fucking that'll do. But having said that, Pfizer yesterday was given all clear. It was given all clear to go out and by the FDA, Federal Drug Administration, or whatever it's called in the United States, it was given all clear. It's passed all its tests, passed all the consensus. Now, all that information done and dusted, I do realise that I should probably add my own 10 cents in what I think is the case. China probably accidentally released this virus. They accidentally did it and then went, oh, well, we can knock out our two biggest competitors doing this. They're doing that now. The lockdowns, we should have had hard lockdowns for 2 weeks, straight off the bat, no questions asked, just hard lockdown. But due to bury a dick in and her fucking around, that didn't happen. So, once again, politics dictated and fucked it all. The rumours, I just look up facts. I just look up facts of the situation. I don't look up, get pulled into the rumours. I just hear a rumour and go, fact, not true. Or, it's got possibility. There's a possibility there, maybe. Workplaces, my thoughts on it is I'm going to have to get vaccinated soon. I didn't want to until January because that's when I felt the scientific community would have done the correct research, the correct peer reviews, the correct analysis of what needed to be done, and they would have formed a consensus based on that information. Fortunately, I will have to have it. I'll have to have the Pfizer sooner rather than later, so that is unfortunate. Yeah, so anyway, there's my 25-minute sitting at home, bored, with a heart condition, talking about the 2019 COVID outbreak. Adios.